the Eastern Cape, and as the country continues to grapple with COVID-19, the spread of the virus at funerals remains a huge concern, and a family in New Brighton in Nelson Mandela Bay has opted for a drive-by memorial service. Close friends and family will be allowed to drop off flowers and gestures of support outside the family home. Our reporter Lwando Nomoyi is there. Let's catch up with him and get a sense of what's happening there now. Lwando?
Well, a very good evening to you, to Peter in the studio. Well, the procession is underway currently, and as you can see behind me, there is a guard of honor that has been formed by the church members, and you can see that they've also social distanced. There's a distance between each and every one of them. So it is the new way of doing a memorial service, which is a drive-by or a walk-by memorial service. So what they will do, they will sing their praises and show their gesture of support and condolences to the deceased, and they will drop down flowers near the table right there. So there is no actual interaction, Peter, of the family with close friends and family, as the funeral of the late Miriam Congo will be tomorrow morning. Therefore, these are some of the congregants of her church showing their last respects. But with me here, I've got the spokesperson of the family, Mr. Gacha Congo, just to tell us more, about this particular procession. Mr. Congo, a very good afternoon to you and welcome to SABC News. Sir, just briefly before we get into this type of drive-by memorial service, just take us through the life that Mama Miriam lived.
Well, she's born and bred in Port Elizabeth, and this is her community, and she was a member of the Church of God, Saints of Christ, which are the members that you're seeing here, and she was an elderly member. So they saw it befitting that they needed to come and pay respect. It is just unfortunate that we live at times where there's a whole lot of people that wanted to show their respects, but because of the pandemic that has hit the country, hit us globally, they couldn't. So what we did is, in conjunction with this, because a whole lot of people wanted to be here, which is not possible. Firstly, because regulation is you cannot have more than 50 people. We also streaming this live on Zoom. And if anybody wants to pay respects to my mother or just wants to send any messages of condolences, they can get onto or Facebook, my sister's Facebook. Her name is Mulelwa Mageke. You can find it there, or if you go to my account, Gachatonzo, GATSHACONCO, you will find the link to the Zoom here. This is the new norm that we live in. I mean, Mama, we would have loved to have people showing the same kindness that they said she showed to them. But here we are.
Yeah, which leads me to the question that how has the family received, this particular type of memorial service? I understand that you guys are on the other side of the wall and the church is on this other side. So how is this being received by the family?
It's been extremely trying, and not only now because we're having service. I mean, even when she was admitted into hospital, because we had to drive from Johannesburg. So by the time she was admitted, we were still in Johannesburg, me and my sister. So when we got to Port Elizabeth, we couldn't even go to the hospital because hospitals are a no-go area. You're not allowed in. And the only way you can communicate with your loved one is through a phone. And the second challenge with that is she cannot talk because she's on a ventilator. So she's very inaudible. The only way you talk is through selfies or text messages or WhatsApp and all those things. That has been the most difficult, which was just the beginning. And after that, even when she passed on, they told us at the hospital that they could only allow one person to come and see her. We had to make a decision who's going to see my mom, which was quite a challenge. I had to let my sister go, but I asked her, can you take a picture of her? Imagine not having seen your mom for all those days, and then on the last day when she passes on, all you have of her last memory is a picture. That is unprecedented. This is a new way of living. It is emotionally draining. That's the best way to explain it.
And also, we with the government regulations in place that the number should be kept to a minimum. You know, would you encourage that other people do the same as well?
Oh, definitely so. Definitely so. I mean, if we don't take this seriously now, then we never will. I encourage it, and it still discourages me that there are people that still think this is a myth. People are still saying like, oh no, you know, do you know of anybody you know who's died from this? Well, here we are. Here, I'm living proof. And I cannot stress enough that, guys, this is serious. Guys, take this serious. Be safe, sanitize, wash your hands, and keep social distancing.
Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Congo.
My pleasure.
We really appreciate it. Well, that was the family spokesperson and son, Mr. Congo, just briefly unpacking and telling us, you know, this new normal that they are actually will be adopting to as the family and the congregants, you know, gathered here and paying their last respects to the family. But from us here in Port Elizabeth, it's back to you in studio.
Lwando, thanks very much indeed. And very sad to see just how families have had to learn a new way of coping during very difficult times. A drive-by funeral taking place there in New Brighton in Nelson Mandela Bay.